Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, What the Beck. Today I'm doing another crafty adventure involving candy corn and icing. And yes, I know it's not Halloween anymore, but I've had this sitting in my desk drawer for like a month now, and I figured I better do this soon or else it has no chance of tasting nice at all. I am someone who can eat candy corn, but I'm not like in love with it, so this is more just an experiment to make candy corn on the cob. And I'll put a picture in the video right here. And yeah, that's basically what I want to make. I was inspired to do this by Emmy Made in Japan, who will be linked up here in the iCard. And I saw her make this and turn it into elotes, which is a Mexican way to eat corn. So I'm not doing that. I'm just going to be making it because I think it looks cool. So let's get started. The first thing I have is the final Ziploc bag in our entire apartment, and I'm just going to fill this with icing. It looks like someone took a bite out of it. Weird. Okay, so I put the bag into the cup so I can like scoop it easier. And let's just get started. I might need another spoon. Be right back. I got another spoon. Hopefully it will help me get the icing into the actual cup. Yes, okay, good. See, when I watched Emmy make this, she used marzipan, but I don't have that available to me, a college student with no vehicle, so I just got icing. And it was actually not easy to find icing either because my bookstore at school didn't sell it in their convenience store, and the gas station across the street didn't sell it either. So I had to wait until I went home to get some, and luckily I went home a few weeks ago and I was able to get some, so yes, I will triumph. Okay, I think that's enough. I'm just gonna put these in here and then close this up for now. I might need to add more later, but that is a chunky bag of icing. Squeeze the icing down to the corner. Kind of looks like butter because it's not like pure white, but that's fine. We're not here to look pretty, it's just gonna be on the inside. Okay, and now I'm just gonna cut a small tip off of this bag, like so. Hopefully that's not too small or too big. And now what we're going to do is open the candy corn. These scissors do not work very well. And what I'm gonna do is just make a huge mess. This is what I'm gonna start with. And so this will be for like the fresh, untouched candy corns. And then this area will be like my workspace so I can glue them together. So what I'm gonna do is make a ring of them, and in Emmy's video she used 12. I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to get on here because mine are kind of like fat. So we're just gonna add them in a circle. I think maybe one more will fit, and then I'm just going to pipe the icing in a circle on top of them. Oh yeah, that hole is way too small. Okay, let's fix that. Okay, hopefully that will work. And I'm just gonna pipe it on top like this. It's really thick icing, but I wanted it to be thick so it would set up. Because I'm not using marzipan like Emmy did, I wanted it to be thicker so that it would stay together. And then, whoops, just because this is the first layer, I'm gonna put some more icing in the center. I'm just gonna squeeze these in together. And then we can add our next layer like this. I'm just going to time lapse this, and here we go. Kind of wiggling around, but that's okay. I'm just gonna keep going because I don't want to give up on this. I really want it to work. If it ends up being a floppy piece of corn, I'll just deal with it, but I hope it turns out at least somewhat decent. So we're on layer 4 now. A really loud person just walked past my window and you could totally hear them, so I'm gonna edit that out. But I'm gonna get a side view for you here in a second because it's actually turning out pretty cool. My creation here is a bit wobbly just because it is made of icing and not like a clay-like material. So here, I'll show you the side. So here's what the side looks like. It does kind of look like corn, except for, of course, the neon coloration, but pretty good if I do say so myself. Let's get a little corn refill and spill them everywhere. My desk isn't like really dirty, but I would still rather not just eat straight off of it. I might actually add some of these little baby ones in the center just for like support. And I'm definitely gonna have to leave this overnight to dry up. And then tomorrow morning, I'll show you what it looks like. But until then, time lapse. I just found out that my bag snapped. So I'm just gonna try to cover it with my thumb and get another bag eventually. It's turning kind of wobbly, but at this point it's like the best I'm gonna get out of it. The icing does taste good, so when it spills on my hand, I do get to eat it. That is a plus of this exercise. Giving a little bit of extra icing in this layer because I want to make sure that it doesn't like cave in on itself. Like the candy corn is thicker at the end, so I don't want it to like fall in on itself because the tips are not as tall as the rest of it. So I'm just attempting to combat that in this way. I might give another side view in a second and then add a few more layers and leave it to dry. So here is the second side view. Definitely looks more like corn at this point. And I have icing all over my hands, so great. I just popped another hole in this bag. I think I'm gonna get another one. So, as I said before, I know it's not Halloween, but my kitchen thinks otherwise. So we're using this thicker bag to hopefully hold in the icing of the other bag. I'm also gonna cut the tip a little bigger so it can have more of it coming out. And yes, we'll just build this until it starts toppling, I guess. Here we go, double bag. Yep, that immediately seems to be working much better. I'm not sure if there's any practical use for this. I just thought it was weird looking, so I wanted to try it myself. If you try this, I don't know where you would get the candy corn from at this time of the year, but if you get like Christmas candy corn or something and you make one, feel free to tag me on Instagram. It's at Edible Wishes, and I'll definitely put the text at the bottom of the screen so you can see how it's spelled. But yeah, it's kind of just a afternoon craft for weirdos. Leave a comment if you think I should decorate cupcakes for a living. That was the most beautiful swirl I've ever seen. So it seems like I'm running out of corn, which is not something I ever thought I would say. But I will just go until I've exhausted my supply, leave it overnight, and then check up with you tomorrow. I do have to say, I was worried about it just falling apart because I'm using icing, but it actually seems to be holding together pretty well. And yeah, almost done. That's the rest of them. Hold on. A few stragglers. I am kind of afraid that it will collapse under its own weight. The weight of what was in this bag was 312 grams, so I might just like wrap it in plastic wrap so that it stays upright, and maybe support it with like a cup or two. It's kind of like a Zen activity. Like I could do this for an hour and be fine. So now that I'm at the top, I'm just going to pipe my final bit of icing and then shove the rest of these in here, going upward this time. That way it will look like the end of the corn. And of course I've run out of ones with yellow ends, so as I massage my corn, I'm just gonna put in the rest of these little orange ones. The little baby ones. So what I'm going to do, because I don't think plastic wrap would allow enough air to get into it for it to dry overnight, I'm going to just wrap this bag around it and then tie it with like yarn or something. I'll see what I can find. Pink it is. The This is the most awkward thing I've done. So here's what our corn baby looks like. Full reveal tomorrow morning. Haha. Okay, so it's the next day and I've kind of put the corn on the cob in this like contraption that I made. Basically I just put a mug over it and a roll of tape so that the mug wouldn't like crush it. So now I guess we're just gonna unwrap it. I'm gonna change the camera angle a little bit so you can see better what I'm doing, because yeah, this looks insane. This is not something you would see every day. Okay, so I'm gonna take the yarn off and oh my god. Look at that. Hold on, let me see if I can get the light on it better. Look at this thing of beauty. I know that it's dry because this morning I was going to take it out and show you, but it was like still squishy, so I left it until about 4 o'clock. It's like 4 now, and I know it's not attached down here because I was spinning it, and I don't know that the bottom is dry, but look at that. That's I kind of want to just keep it forever now. Like, I made this. It is kind of like bumpy, and I know I put some of these in like sideways, but I figured, you know, it's just like a normal corn from nature. They don't all grow perfectly the same. And the one thing that I really wanted to do is add butter on top. So I have this little starburst candy here, and I'm just gonna destroy it. For some reason, people say they hate the yellow ones and they'll like not eat the yellow ones. Like, I don't know. I think the yellow ones are fine. It's just lemon. Lemon is like a standard flavor in my opinion, but yeah, you would be surprised how long it took me to find a lemon one, because I was looking through my old candy stash and this is how many packages I had to open up to find one yellow one. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 packages until I get one yellow one, but definitely worth it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I don't think I'll eat the whole thing. I might like pick at it for a while and then throw it out when I go home for winter break. But yeah, I would say that is an achievement. Nice. So if you like this video, you can leave me a thumbs up in the comments and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. I usually do like planning videos if you're new, but sometimes I do weird stuff like this. I think the last video I did that was like not planner or bullet journal related was making slime with my mom, and I'll put a link to that up here. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.